Thanks so much, Matt. Well, in the last 20 years, Children of the Nations has mobilized tens of thousands of people to address the worldwide problem of poverty and the critical needs of thousands of orphans. You guys do amazing work. This morning, I'm joined with the founders, Chris and Debbie Clark. So first and foremost, tell me a little bit about Children of the Nations and why folks here in the Inland Northwest should know about what the kind of work you do.
Thank you. It's great to be with you this morning. We started 20 years ago, like you shared. We had gone to Sierra Leone during the middle of the war there, just with the idea to help temporarily. And while we were there, God got a hold of our hearts and said, you are ready to start an organization that helps orphans primarily. And so we launched out and began in Sierra Leone in 1995, and now we're in 5 nations and about 5,000 kids that we care for.
We're looking at some photos of some of those children. So tell me a little bit about what child sponsorship is all about and how somebody here locally can get involved.
When we began Children of the Nations, we knew it was going to be a big task, and I often say it's a good thing I couldn't see 20 years ahead, because I think I would have been a little freaked out. But at that time, our goal was to somehow connect people here in the States with what we do overseas, and we knew that if people saw the incredible needs that were there and they heard some of the children's stories, that they would want to get involved. So child sponsorship is all about making a big difference through a little amount every month, and we have thousands of sponsors who are really becoming story changers and helping a child's story change.
And something that I, just came to my mind right now is Sierra Leone was really in the news a lot in the recent years because of Ebola. Yes. How did that affect your work and the children there?
Well, one of the exciting things about the Ebola conflict or virus was how many people stepped up to help. And even in this community, we had many people that came forward to help us. We, of course, brought our children into a tighter circumference so they couldn't go out and be infected. But we helped thousands and thousands. And in fact, there was not even one case of Ebola in our area because of our response. But now we are taking in children because of what had happened in other villages. Many of the families were killed, they died. And one of our little girls that we have now, she's blind and deaf, woke up blind and deaf as a result of having Ebola. Her entire village was burned down because of the idea that it would spread. And so she's completely left alone. And we have 14 kids like that have come into our care now whose families or extended families cannot be identified because of what happened during that time.
Chris, Debbie, you guys do beautiful work. If you're inspired by these stories and would like to learn more, we'll go ahead and post that information on our Facebook page for you all this morning.